The light is coming and going today, so if that changes drastically, like it just did, I'm sorry about that. Hey there, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Madison and I make videos about ministry, motherhood, and marriage. Today I am going to be sharing a video about how I'm preparing for my postpartum journey, as well as what are some of my just favorite postpartum essentials. I am currently 23 and a half weeks pregnant with our second child, and I'm due in early May. We are so excited to meet this baby, but I also know that transition from pregnant to postpartum, I think it's called the fourth trimester, is intense. Your body goes through so much hormonally and stress-wise, and just not getting a ton of sleep and postpartum hair loss, and there's a lot that goes into it. I dealt with very severe postpartum anxiety after my daughter Saoirse was born. She was born in April of 2020, right at the beginning of pandemic, and it was a really scary time to have a baby, and it's still a really scary, challenging time for a lot of people to be pregnant, and we have to really deal with that fear and really take it to God. And so I just wanted to share some of those things that really helped me last time I was going through that fourth trimester postpartum journey, how I'm preparing for that this next time to prayerfully be so much better and just more emotionally healthy, less anxious, less fearful time for me. I hope that this video is helpful to you, that it brings you peace, that it gives you a lot of answers and helps you to feel prepared for your own postpartum journey. If you like this video, please be sure to click like down below, as well as the subscribe button. It really supports my channel. And let me know in a comment down below, what was one of those postpartum essentials that you couldn't live without? I'm going to try to link all of the items that I talk about in this video in the description down below. So if you have questions or you want to find any of the resources that I'm talking about, go ahead and check that description box down below and it'll have all the answers for you. I'm 23 weeks right now, and so I still have a good amount of time before baby is born, or at least it feels that way. But I'm really trying to think about what are some of the early things that I can be doing to prepare my home, to prepare my mind, to prepare my heart, my family, my daughter, my husband, our church, just every aspect of our life. How can I prepare these things for baby? I do work in ministry, so I'm trying to think through a lot of the ways that I'm going to consolidate some of the ministry things that I do work-wise. I will be taking maternity leave, which I'm so grateful for, but I'm trying to think through, okay, how can I prepare the women that I disciple in my life, the ministry, some of the projects that I'm involved in, and Bible studies and things like that. How can I prepare those things for me taking some time away and really enjoying my baby and really enjoying that healing process after birth, and letting them go for it and do that without me? So how can I prepare the women in my life for that, as well as myself and other aspects of my life? So one of the first things that I did, and I'm still in the process of doing, is preparing our bedroom for the new baby. We are planning on having baby sleep in our room with us for the first at least 4 to 5 months. We did that with Saoirse and really loved it, really enjoyed that. Definitely some challenging aspects to it, but I just felt so much more secure being able to hear baby right there, nurse them, put them right back down, things like that. It was just a really great experience. So we're planning on doing that again, but I've realized that I need to prepare my room for having a third little human in our bedroom with us. One of the things that we are using is a halo bassinet. I did make some space in our room for that at my bedside. This little corner that I'm actually sitting in is in our master bedroom. So this is kind of the space that I'm really preparing to be kind of my like refuge space as a mama. So this is my favorite rocking chair. I used to have one of those wooden rocking chairs with like a pad on it and the little ottoman footstool when Saoirse was first born, and I really didn't like it. It was really uncomfortable and you couldn't recline at all in it. You just had to sit straight up. I didn't like it. And I was really wanting to get something a little bit more cushiony and full. So I was really grateful when we were able to collect this. It also reclines. I love that because it means that whether I'm nursing or pumping, or I just need a nap or anything like that, I can nap in this chair. I can sit with baby when baby is sick and needs to be upright. I can hold them and lean back and just get really comfortable, put some pillows up, have some blankets. I feel like We don't really consider enough the chair that we're gonna sit in a lot as nursing mamas. But whether you're nursing or pumping or bottle feeding, you're gonna be spending a good amount of time sitting down feeding your baby. So having a really comfy place to sit is super, super important. Along with my super comfy chair, I also have this little night table right here next to me that I'm kind of still getting established, but I'm starting to get things set up. I have my birthing book. Get a great tumbler that you love with a straw so that you don't have to lean back, that it doesn't make any sucking noises. It's really, really important to stay hydrated when you're healing from birth, when you're breastfeeding, all those things. It's super important that you just are always getting enough water, and it's super easy to neglect as a mom. I also have this little basket here. It has some of my like postpartum wraps. It has my little like perennial spray bottle. I got the Sinpel one from Amazon. Again, I'll link all this down below. It has the outfit that I wore when I was giving birth to Saoirse. It's one of those like labor and delivery gowns that opens in the front, opens at the shoulders, opens at the back. It's super comfy and soft and pretty. I just really wanted to feel pretty when Saoirse was born. I wanted to wear something that I felt was feminine, that was cozy. So yeah, I wanted that to be close by. So I really just want this nightstand to be full of things that are beneficial for me as a mama and things that I want to be able to have on hand easily while I'm sitting down, that I don't have to stand up. I have a little charging station dock that I'm going to be putting here for my phone. It sets my Apple headphones on there, and it also has my Apple Watch charger, and it sits upright. So if I'm nursing and I want to watch a movie or a show or something, I can just have that right here and I can watch something or charge my phone or listen to something, listen to the Bible, listen to a podcast, that I've got that whole charging dock station set up right there. I'm also going to put some of my favorite books right here. I put this little journal here that I used the exact same one when Saoirse was first born for my quiet times. It was my prayer journal, and I loved it because it had really just a short space for writing a prayer, and then this place for kind of some journaling or doodling or things like that. And I actually used it to write my word of the day. I would write in big capital letters and just kind of journal out a word and draw around it, and just something that I'm really praying about that day or focusing on, because I usually wouldn't have that much time to really sit and journal and pray. But I liked having it on hand for those little opportunities that I could have that. I will also be putting a copy of Mission of Motherhood by Sally Clarkson in there. That's one of my favorite books, and I just try to read it every single year. So I'm going to be putting one of those copies right there, along with a Bible and just some other little things that are very life-giving and soul-filling to me as a mama that I would want to have on hand close by. I also want to cover some of the ways that I am getting some professional help for my postpartum journey. I am hiring a midwife this time around, and rather than an OB, I'm going with a midwife. Hiring a midwife who is very devoted and very aware of my specific story and needs, and my past births and some of the trauma that came along with that, and desires and hopes for this next birth. I'm also going to be interviewing doulas and really hoping that I can find a great doula for this birth. I just feel like any additional support that I can get, the better. Thirdly, I am going to be getting a lactation specialist. I worked with an amazing lactation specialist here in Central Oregon with my daughter Saoirse when she was born. So I actually reached out to her already because she's working at a different company. She started her own practice and said, hey, here's where I'm at. I'd love to work with you again. I'm so grateful that I got to work with you last time. Do you have any availability? Could I even come in for a prenatal appointment? Is that a thing? And she said, absolutely, come on in. Let's talk. Let's prepare. Can't wait to work with you. So I'm really excited about that, just to feel like I already have a lactation specialist who knows me, who knows how difficult breastfeeding was for me last time around, who I trust and feel really secure with, and that's prepared, that knows my story. So I'm really, really excited to already have that mapped out of a great lactation specialist. I went to therapy for most of 2021 and really, really enjoyed it. It really helped me to overcome my panic attacks, my postpartum anxiety, my generalized anxiety, which didn't know that I actually had until I started therapy. It was so helpful to me though, and I stopped doing that within the last couple of months because my anxiety has just dissipated in so many ways that is completely of God, and I'm so thankful for. I literally feel like a new creation. But knowing how hard my postpartum journey was with Saoirse and having postpartum anxiety last time, I actually talked with her and asked if we could set up an appointment ahead of time for around that time, around this first few weeks after Saoirse was born, just to check in and just to have an appointment set that, hey, I just want to make sure that I'm doing well. And if I'm not, that at least I've already got something in the works. I don't have to plan or ask for something that's going to be booked way far out. We're going to try to get that established and set up before baby's even born so that I can have some good mental health check-in and support after baby is born. So that is the professional help that I'm getting that I'm so excited and grateful for, and grateful that I have the insurance that will help cover those things. The next thing that I want to share with you guys are kind of the essential items that I'm going to be purchasing that I want to have on hand. The first thing that I would like to get are the Thinx period shorts and underwear. They're basically shorts that have like underwear inside of them, but they're for when you're on your period, typically you're bleeding, and they just catch and absorb so much of that liquid. I wanted to purchase a couple pairs of those because honestly, I was mostly in my pajamas and in adult diapers after Saoirse was born. So I wanted to get a couple of really comfortable shorts and pairs of underwear that are those really super absorbent ones that you wouldn't even necessarily need to wear an additional adult diaper or pad on top of those, but just to have them handy because it's messy. Like postpartum time and healing, it's messy, it's bloody, you're going through a lot, your body's changing and healing from this huge open wound that was inside of you from where your placenta attached to your uterus. There's a humongous wound inside of you, and that's why you're bleeding. So I want to just prepare and have as much comfortable things like that on hand as possible. So I'm going to try those out. Never tried them before, but I'm hoping that they're a great addition to my postpartum essentials list. Make sure you have some great scrunchies on hand. Your hair can be really brittle and you're going to be probably experiencing a lot of postpartum hair loss. I definitely did. All of these little like stringies are from my postpartum hair regrowth, and up here I lost a ton. So just having some really good non-elastic, that are kind of sensitive to your hair and scrunchies, I've really enjoyed. So having a couple of those on hand and nearby to just keep your hair out of your face is really helpful. I am going to get some adult diapers to have on hand. I'm going to make sure that they're big enough this time because last time I bought some that were just a little bit too small and it was really uncomfortable, and I just remember having my skin getting really irritated and frustrated with that, and just you're uncomfortable enough as it is already. So make sure that you have some adult diapers on hand that are comfortable and really stretchy and just something that you actually want to wear for that first week postpartum. In my first birth, I bought a pack of those like vaginal wipes to have on hand, but I think this time I'm just going to go with water wipes, which I already have on hand from Saoirse. They're literally just wipes with water on them and a little bit of fruit extract. So I'll probably just keep some of those, in the bathroom by the toilet, just because feeling clean and keeping yourself clean is really, really important in those times. So I like to have some wipes on hand for that. I have already purchased some La Vie warmers and a roller, and I highly recommend these for breastfeeding, guys. They're basically these small, kind of look like pill-shaped, but they're rounded like this, and they vibrate and they're warm, and you place them on your breasts. You can stick them into your nursing bra, anywhere on your breast that's comfortable and helpful to you. I got 2 of those. They charge really quickly, and I just love, love, love them. They're on Amazon, so I'll link those down below as well. But I purchased those as well as the La Vie roller. It's like a breast roller, a massage roller thing. And I got those just to kind of help like bring in some letdown. So you can use that to roll down on your breast when you're breastfeeding. And I loved those 2 things a ton. I used them for many, many months and really helped with my milk flow, my production. I never had any clogged ducts or mastitis. I never had anything like that. And I really do accredit those warmers to that, because keeping your nipples warm, your breasts warm, and just keeping the milk flow going does really help reduce those likelihood of those kinds of infections. So I really enjoyed those. I'm going to be using those again, and we'll link them down below. I absolutely hate nursing bras with those clips. Those were the worst, guys. They're the worst. Just can we all agree to stop buying buying them. They're awful. Maybe some people like them. I don't see why, because I absolutely hated them. They did not work for me. If they work for you, great, but they did not work for me. The pad that goes inside of it that comes out, why are we still making things with pads that come in and out? I couldn't tell you, but they would always get rolled up in the wash, and so then taking them out, I'd have to try to unroll the pad and then reclip it and untangle the wire, and it was just, oh, I hated them. I'm never buying those again. So instead of those janky nursing bras with clasps and straps and everything, I will only ever use wireless nursing bras from now on, or sports bras. Nothing that has wires or clasps or straps or clips, nothing. They're just totally wireless nursing bras. They're so comfy, you can sleep in them. You just pull it down, pull your breast out, feed your kid, put it back. There's no clasping, there's no fiddling in the middle of the night, no snapping that might wake up your baby. It's just quiet and seamless. Wireless nursing bras, it's the way to go. Next thing, have some great chapstick on hand. Again, having a little spot like this is really helpful with just some of your favorite things that are very moisturizing, life-giving, helpful to your body. Have some good chapstick on hand because you are going to be dehydrated. Get some good water in you, but have some good chapstick, some good moisturizer on hand. I'm going to be investing in a good robe this time around. I have this pink fluffy robe. It's okay, but it's got some holes in it. It's seen better days. And so I'm going to be looking into getting a longer, kind of a little bit more thin, still warm, but kind of like more of a towely cotton, like that waffle style robe. That's what I'm going to look into getting this time around because I love wearing a robe, especially in the morning when I first wake up. Super easy to nurse when you're wearing a robe. So I'm going to invest in a little bit better, higher quality robe this time, as well as just some comfy pajamas. I think those are so important. I don't really remember getting out of my pajamas except to go to the doctor's office in those early weeks. So get yourself some good, comfy, cozy pajamas that you love and feel great in, and even feel pretty in. It's just such a vulnerable time, those first few weeks and those first few months. So anything that you can do to help yourself feel a little bit more human and whole, do it. Just do it. I am also going to be getting some of those perennial ice packs. I think I'm just going to get the reusable ones. They come with a cover. You can throw the cover in the wash, keep the ice packs in the freezer, take them out, use them, slip them into your adult diaper or your underwear, whatever you're using. I found those so helpful. If you're having a hospital birth, you can take home a bunch of them. I even asked the nurses, like, hey, could you just get me a bag of a bunch of the, underwear that they give you, and the pads and the ice packs. They give you ones that you crack and they turn into those ice packs. So if you're having a hospital birth, make sure you ask for a bag of extra stuff like that, and they should give it to you. They gave me a huge bag of it. Just take some home from the hospital. If you're not, buy some and have them handy for you. You are going to be very sore, so having some nice ice packs on hand just felt like a huge lifesaver to me. The next thing that I'm going to be stocking up on are all of my favorite toiletries and some great face masks that I love. I just feel like anything rejuvenating, things that I know already work well for my skin, my hair, a face mask that I can even just put on while I'm nursing baby and just have a little bit of time to relax, reset, recoup, and help my skin to just absorb some great nutrients, I think is really helpful. Some great moisturizers to have on hand. If you can afford to, just try to get some of those favorite toiletry essentials that work well for you, that are, tried and true, time-tested things that you love and that you really want to make sure you have on hand. I found that having a great heating pad is really, really important for recovery. So I will probably take the heating pad that I already have, slip it behind me in this chair, as well as a great support pillow for my back, and just have it plugged in behind me so that anytime I'm cold, it's the middle of the night, or I'm just feeling achy and just kind of need some heat compresses, it's already set up and it's there, and I can just reach down, click it on, and it's ready to go. I am also going to be keeping my weighted blanket on the bed. It really helps with my anxiety a lot, especially, and just helping me to sleep better at nighttime. So I just fold that up and I keep that at the foot of my bed, but I'm going to make sure that I keep that there in that postpartum period and have it handy, because it really helps me to sleep a lot better, and it helps me to sleep better, especially when I'm feeling anxious. It's just very calming and very helpful. So having a weighted blanket is awesome. There are also two medicines that I'm definitely going to be sure to have on hand. One of them is Miralax. Having some stool softeners Ladies, if you've had a baby, you know it's important. Have some stool softeners on hand, have some Miralax on hand that you can throw in with some juice because it really does not taste good in water. Don't try it with water. Have some OJ in the freezer that you can make some juice real quick and just throw that in or add to a smoothie or something and just help keep everything flowing smoothly. You know what I mean? The other medicine that I'm going to have on hand is actually a really great nutritional supplement called Moringa. This is something that my lactation specialist recommended for me, and it helped my milk supply so much. So if you're planning on breastfeeding or even just wanting some great nutritional support and supplements in your life, I would really encourage you to look into Moringa and talk to your physician about that, or your lactation specialist. Make sure that it's a great thing for you. I also want to just share with you some insight that my lactation specialist told me, which is those mother's milk teas. Make sure that you talk with your lactation specialist and your physician about that, because sometimes they help your supply and sometimes they actually lessen it. I did not know that, and I found that it was not helping my supply. It was actually inhibiting my milk supply a ton. So have some mother's milk on hand, but make sure that if it's not working for you within a few days or so, talk to your specialist about that and make sure that it's a good thing for you, because it actually might be making your milk supply more inhibited than actually helping it. Really frustrating, but I thought I'd share that little tidbit with you. And the last thing that I'm planning on having is just a bunch of frozen meals on hand and things that are prepped, ready to go. We had some amazing women come and just really overflow into our lives, and my parents were so helpful in cooking for us and cleaning for us, but having some great meals that are like literally fully cooked and prepped, even rice that's fully cooked and then put into the freezer so that all you have to do is just open, dump in a bowl, put it in the microwave, and you're good to go. Having some of those on hand is going to be really helpful. A sister here in the church actually is offering to help us get one of those meal kits that gets delivered right to your door. So I'm really excited about that, just to have some great high nutritional value meals that are delivered right to your door. I really don't mind cooking and cleaning. Even in those early weeks, this can be very de-stressing activities for me. And I also just have great family and friends who come over and are really supportive in those areas. But having some high nutritional value things on hand, having oats on hand, maybe freezing some homemade lactation cookies with lots of oats in them is great. Eating lots of squash is really great. So meals that have things like zucchini, spaghetti squash, things like that are really, really helpful for your supply. And just all of your favorite things that you're going to enjoy eating that's going to produce that oxytocin as you're eating it. Have some of your favorite candy on hand, just some things that really help to encourage you and to help you feel good in those healing times, and as your hormones are all over the place, whatever you can do to just help make this time healing, restorative, life-giving, and supportive to you, do it. So those are the ways that I'm preparing for my postpartum journey and some of my favorite postpartum essentials that I am planning to purchase this time around. I hope those things were helpful to you. I will put all of these items in my Amazon storefront, so be sure to click on that link down below. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.